Good sportsmanship is always endorsed, but not always shown, and that's especially true toward those in blue or striped uniforms. News 19's Colton Emsweiler joins us now with more about what some are calling a troubling trend at sporting events across the board. Colton?
Yeah, well, no one wants to get yelled at for just doing their job, Dustin, excuse me. And that's especially the case for umpires and referees in sports. While they often hear the boos and whines from the crowd, it can certainly bear down on them, and many key names in the industry are now speaking out as the officiating landscape has taken a shift in recent years, and not necessarily in a good way. It's common to see people get heated against a rival or opponent, but something that often goes unnoticed is the treatment of sports officials. As time has gone on, people within the industry have seen a trend in how negatively they are respected by those on and off the field.
How things have evolved over time the last 30, 35 years, especially the last few years. I see less respect for officials and umpires than I have in the past. Especially this year, I've seen kids more so than in the past argue, just blatantly argue. And when I was a kid, when I was being raised and playing sports, you just didn't do that. It was a no-no. I mean, it was unheard of. Now you just see it. It just happens a lot more.
It's never been worse than it is right now. Back in the day, we never had conversations about our safety. We didn't worry where we were going to go after the game, or to make sure a security officer was going to be outside our dressing room door to walk us to the parking lot because we were worried about our safety. We didn't have those conversations back then. Now it is a requirement. That alone tells you where we as a society have come.
While both sides want to win, doing so the right way is valuable to those in charge of the game, and simply following the golden rule is a major step in accomplishing that.
If a coach comes up to me and in a respectful way, not a condescending way, it treats me with dignity, I'm going to address his concern. If a coach runs out and screams in my face and treats me with complete disrespect, perhaps I'm going to react the same way that he reacted toward me. So I do not mind questioning calls, asking for clarification, because officials make mistakes and they have to understand that. So it's all, again, about the art of communicating.
But it's not just players and coaches. While the age of the competitor plays a role, there's one more side that experts say is the leading cause of danger towards sports officials.
With parents/fans, they're the worst violators. The surveys are clear about this, that the worst violators when it comes to physical harm towards sports official, though that comes from the parents/fans at the youth and rec level. That's where the biggest problem is. It's not so much at the high school level. It's certainly not so much at the college or pro levels.
I think that parents need to be good role models for their children. And I've always thought that sports is a microcosm of society. And if you go to a ball game on a Saturday and just kind of watch people. And it's just amazing how sometimes people step out of line and how they behave.
And just like any other business these days, sports officials are seeing a labor shortage. Keeping the new ones around can be difficult given how they are perceived, but it can also be rewarding in the eyes of those who have suited up.
My concern is the recruitment and the retainment of young officials that are involved in youth sports in the area and beyond. And are they going to continue? That's the point of concern throughout this country, losing the number of young officials that don't want the commitment, maybe the pay, have had some unpleasant experiences.
Yeah, I would encourage young people to get involved, because I think just from the lacrosse area and probably generically around the country and around the state of Wisconsin, you have people that are just getting older, and we need a new crop of people to come in. I think if you get into umpiring and officiating, it gets in your blood. And I love doing it, and I know for a fact that the umpires and the officials around the lacrosse area are very good. They care about kids, they work hard, and they just want to be part of the game, and they want to help kids out. And I think that's the bottom line.
Hoping that good sportsmanship stays its course and passes down to the next generation of players, coaches, spectators, and officials. And among specific examples of mistreatment, Terry Erickson says that a pre-Olympic basketball game in Europe was among the most heinous games during his half-century-long career, as fans between Sweden and Italy got riled up. But Erickson adds that he and his crew were able to de-escalate the situation and had peaceful conversations with spectators and coaches. And Dustin, not getting that wrong twice, whether it's the highest level of international play or the lowest level of local sports here in lacrosse, officials officials are asking that you simply treat them the way you would want to be treated.
That golden rule. Thanks, Colton. Of course, as you heard there is that shortage of umpires in the area, resulting in some games having been postponed, even canceled in some cases. So if you're interested in signing up, you can learn more on our website and news app. That's at wxw.com.